What's one of the ways that you can make sure that dirt doesn't come inside your house? Well, most of us have a mat right outside our front door, and we make sure that we wipe our feet on that mat. But an additional measure would be once we're inside the foyer to take off our shoes. This way we're not tracking anything into the house. That, my dear friends in Christ, is a great exercise in humility. Now, many people misunderstand the great virtue of humility, thinking it's simply being someone's doormat, that they can walk all over before they go someplace else. That, my dear friends in Christ, is not at all what humility is. Humility, instead, is being grounded, being rooted in God, recognizing that God is God, that we are not. Humility, grounded. It comes from the Latin word humus, meaning ground. So humility allows us to keep our feet on earth and to allow our eyes to look to heaven and ask God to give us every grace that we need, that we can be one with him forever. My dear friends in Christ, to grow in humility, we require humility. We have to ask God for that virtue. We can't get humility for ourselves. We have to ask for it. It has to be given. We can receive it, yes, but we have to ask for it. We have first to be humble and ask. And two, one of the ways that we can ask is by praying the litany of humility every day. It's a stunningly powerful prayer that asks Jesus to give us the grace to desire nothing above him at all and to fear nothing whatsoever. And in fact, to desire that others in our life, in our family, amongst our friends, in our workplaces, will take places of honor even above ourselves. There's even a part of that litany of humility that asks that others may be holier than we are, provided that we are as holy as we should be. Asking others to be holier than we ourselves are. That's humility. But my dear friends in Christ, it's not about being first. That's not what humility is. And certainly that's not what the life of Christian discipleship is at all. Jesus teaches us, whoever wants to be first among you must be the last, must be the servant of all. For the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Let us, you and me, saints in the making, let us learn from the one who is humility himself, Christ, who comes from the greatest heights of heaven to the depths of earth, shedding the richness of himself and embracing all poverty, that we who are poor might become rich through him. In humility, my dear friends in Christ, let us pray the litany of humility, and I'll leave that as a link in the description part of this episode, so that you and I, my dear friends in Christ, in praying that every day, we might make space for grace.